Okay, so tonight we are making some chicken and cheese enchiladas. So we have our street taco size or fajita size taco shells, flour tortillas. We've got a casserole dish that we've dumped a little bit of the enchilada sauce in. We've got 1 can of La Victoria mild enchilada sauce. We've got some onions. We've got some chicken that we've boiled and shredded. We've added about a tablespoon of taco seasoning to that. Here's our taco seasoning. Here's our cheese. So I'm going to try and do this so you can actually see me roll them and put them in the pan. But since I won't be able to see what's going on because of the way my camera works, might be a little hit and miss, so just bear with us. Okay? Alright, we are going to try and set it up there. So hopefully it looks good, so maybe it'll work. Alright. So, first of all, I'm going to open my cheese. Now, my husband does not like onions in his, so that's why I didn't mix them in. I'm going to try and make about 5 of these. So, we're also going to put just a touch of enchilada sauce in our chicken. I'm going to put a little bit of water in this enchilada sauce and stir it up for dumping back over the top. Okay, now, so see, I'm just kind of stirring that into the chicken. I hope that's in the frame of the picture here. I'm trying. Okay, I'm going to do the ones with the onions first so that I don't have the meat all over my hands. So I use the onions for other things here. This is a clean glass cutting board on my counter here. And then there's another mat on top of that, another cutting mat. So there's the 3 that are going to have the onions. Okay. So the onions are now out of the picture. The next thing is going to be the cheese, again, so that I don't have the same issue with getting the stuff back in my package of cheese. So we are putting just a little handful of cheese on each one here. Okay, and now, since we've already used the taco seasoning here, I want more taco seasoning in the ones with the onions, because those are mine. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little extra on each one. Okay, and then the taco seasoning leaves the picture. The tortillas are leaving the picture. Alright, so we're going to slide this pan over and we're going to start putting the chicken on. At this point, we get rid of the fork. We make sure everything is coated well with a little bit of enchilada sauce we put in there. And then we start putting our, oh, you can't see the chicken probably because I put the pan in the way. So start putting the chicken there. And then a little more chicken. And these were just boneless, skinless thighs that I boiled for about 30 minutes. They were frozen and then allowed them to cool down enough that I could shred them. It was about 5 thighs. They were small. You want quite a nice little mound of chicken in the enchilada there. But you don't want so much that you can't roll it, okay? So we're going to have a little bit of leftover chicken here, but that's just fine. That's why it's in this container, so I can just put a lid on it and pop it in my refrigerator and use it for another dish at a later time. Okay, so we're going to put that out of the way. And then we will start rolling them. So in order to roll them, we just, on my husband's here, I'm going to close the ends. That way I know which ones are his. And I'm going to roll them and place them seam side down in the pan. Okay, so those will be my husband's. And then for mine, I am just going to pull it all to one side and roll it down, leaving the ends open. And place it seam side down in the pan. I'm placing them in an opposite direction so that it fits in my pan. Alright, the next one, seam side down. Now you could make this with full-size tortillas and fill them a little fuller, maybe a little bigger of an enchilada. But personally, I like the small enchiladas. Alright. And there is the third one. So that is what it looks like right now. I'm just going to wash my hands off real quick. Get rid of that chicken. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like in the pan here. See, there's it. There's what it looks like in the pan there. And then I'm going to put the enchilada sauce on it. I'm going to coat everywhere with this enchilada sauce. This way it all gets wet and the ends don't get all dry or anything. And just because I missed a little bit, I want to make sure that I smear that onto every end so that the tortillas don't dry out. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and rinse my hand back off. Drying my hand here. And I'm going to grab my cheese. And I don't know if you can see what that looks like. I'm going to tip the camera there. I think everything's all coated with the enchilada sauce. Don't mind the few dishes in my sink. They are from breakfast and lunch today. And I was waiting to do them until after I got this all done. Now we are going to put our cheese on top, a nice generous coating of the cheese. Now I'm not baking these right away, so I will come back with part 2 of this and show you what the baked one actually looks like once it's finished. So I lost a little cheese here on my stove. So let me brush that off so I keep my work surface nice and clean. Okay. And then this is what it looks like. And at that point, I'm going to grab a piece of foil, spray the top of the foil, and put it on the pan. We spray the foil so that it doesn't stick to the cheese. And then we're going to put it on the pan. And it will be popped into the refrigerator until I'm ready to bake it. And when I'm ready to bake it, it will be baked at 375 for about 35 to 40 minutes, just until it's hot and bubbly. And the cheese is melted. During the last 5 minutes or so of baking, you will want to remove this foil so your cheese can brown if you like it that way. If you like your cheese just soft and gooey, then leave the foil on. And there we go. We have the pan there. And so I'll be back and I'll show you how it's baked later.